So I'm back at HTek Performance, HTek Tuning in San Antonio for the third time for the dyno. This is full bolt-on, so I now have the dual cone intake, charge pipe, blow-off valve. That was the first time. Then I came back after I put the front-mounted intercooler on. I got the Catless Downpipes on. So today with full bolt-on, I'm going to do 4 pulls as my target. So right now I got the MHD pump back end flash loaded onto the ECU, and so I'm going to do that in map 2. And then, even though it's a 100 octane map, so the map 2 targets about 17 psi at the mid RPM range. I'm going to do map 2, give it some cool time, then do map 7, which targets 19 and a half. That's a 100 octane boost, or 100 octane map. I am running 93. I did a pull on it the other night. I didn't get any real bad knock retard or anything like that, so see how that goes. After that, I'll cool it down, put it back to stock flash with JB4 disabled, and that will just kind of let you see if you didn't have a JB4, but put all the hardware on with the powered B, and then a JB4 on map 2 only. So about 4 pulls today, get some numbers, and put all that data together and let you know how it goes. let's take a look at the results. These charts show the difference of the parts by the tune. So OEM, no JB4, OEM flash with JB4 and map 1, or in the case of all the runs with the downpipes I did in map 2 because JB4 recommends Catless Downpipes before you go to map 2. So that's the only place that these aren't going to be apple comparisons between the downpipes and pre-downpipes runs. So looking at it just for the before after on the stock flash, stock car, stock parts, ran a baseline wheel horsepower 271, and after going back end flash JB4 and full bolt on went up to 336, which is a 65 horsepower wheel horsepower gain. Same thing with the torque. As I said in the other video, I feel that my baseline run was high on torque reading, but that's the data I got, so that's what we're going with. But we went from 348 up to 405, so that's a 57 wheel torque gain. And the reason I say I'm figuring that's high, you can see that it's higher than when I put on the stock flash, the charge pipes. It's higher than when I was running the JB4 and map 1, so I'd imagine in the 340 range. But comparing, since I've been doing this in order of bolting on parts and getting this, but all the red columns here are the add-ons from the downpipes, and you can just see that no matter what you're doing, it added power across the board, and you can feel it. It sounds cool, and I mean it just feels responsive and peppy. But 18 wheel horsepower more adding the downpipes over just the intercooler and dual cone intake, charge pipe blow-off valve, and 35 over stock parts with the back end flash and JB4. So that's a good bang for your buck. Same thing looking over on comparing stock parts to full bolt-on with a JB4 and back end flash. It's 50 wheel torque, so came out to really making a big difference, which I expected. As far as the results using the draggy, my baseline completely stock. First run I did on the morning of the first dyno run, the car ran a 13.98 at 103.79. I didn't do a front mounted intercooler run after just doing the charge pipe and dual cone intake, but after putting on the front mounted intercooler, the best speed was 110 and the best time was a 12.91, and I mean I was getting a lot of 13.0s and barely dipping into 12s and stuff like that. After putting on the downpipes, consistently seeing speeds of about 112, in the 112 range, so in this case 112.62, and in the 12s. Might on bad hookup or bad launch or something like that get a low 13, but the mile an hour is still pretty consistently at 112, almost 113. So substantial performance gain from both a measured speed and quarter mile run standpoint, as well as dyno results. So thanks for watching. That's the next video. I'll be going to the dyno here in a couple days. I've been running a JB4 E92 back end flash and about a 50% ethanol blend, and a lot of all the ignition logs are looking much better. And one of the things I'm trying to address is in all these logs, you can see, like, this is the one with the 405 torque. The torque comes in. This one is kind of wavy at top, but even on this bottom, when you see it, it peaks out. And I can validate, verify this up against the logs that the ignition timing initially kicks in, and then I guess it's getting the knock detection system is reading some knock, so it's knocking down, and then as RPM builds, it's really just retarding the ignition advance, which is causing this torque curve to drop off. And with all my logs I've been getting since I've been running the E85, which the E85 back-end flash map already has some more aggressive ignition advance, but it's staying consistent. I'm getting very little knock retard, and I'm imagining that in these logs where this torque curve is dropping off, that this will be I don't maybe think that this peak value is going to be much better, but if it stays consistent and doesn't do this about 4,700 RPM drop off, that this horsepower number will be much better. So stay tuned. We'll be having that coming up here in the near future. Thanks for watching.